Scotland. There are Aussies in the mix here as well. Justin Brayton, the American, is the defending champion in this class. This will be big. sx1 final underway. Great start by Brayton, but into the first turn, the 111 of Ferris. That's nice stuff from Dean Ferris.
Great start there. We saw Ferris do that in the semi a little bit earlier. Took a bit of a risky gate pick going a little further out, but like we said, if you get the jump, it gives you a great angle that first turn. Track through, have worked on in that tunnel. But if you're Dean Ferris, the last man you'd want to have right behind you is the 21 of Jason Anderson, who has just been on fire all night long.
Here comes Anderson already. We got a brief glimpse there a moment ago. I think it was Kate Mosig in trouble. We'll come back to that because the battle is red hot up in front. Ferris defends. Look how close they are as they go over the start-finish line. Moving to third. I think that was Dan Reardon on Nathan Crawford. Now the 15 comes through. Dean Wilson up into third place ahead of Reardon.
Reardon went for the block pass there on Crawford. Got the block pass done, but sort of ran him a little bit wide and wasn't able to triple up on that tabletop. Left Dean Wilson a perfect opportunity to make it happen. And then look at that, the Shannon shortcut. Anderson uses it quickly, so does Wilson. Dean Wilson might want to take that one back because don't think it was the right time to do it. Maybe he just saw Anderson did it out of reaction, followed him suit.
If you followed the coverage all night, the Shannon's shortcut is only to be used in the finals. You would have seen it in SX2. It's now an option for them in SX1. Replay of the start, what unfolded down in turn one. Nice stuff by Ferris, but there was some drama there.
Oh, and that's Ferris down.
No way, our race leader. And he's dropped back into the clutches of Justin Brayton in 5th place. He's lost 4 spots.
Brayton all over him right now. And not sure exactly what happened, but I got a feeling that probably just got a little too aggressive on the throttle exiting the turn because everyone wants to get, here we got a replay. Watch, yep. Basically what's happening is as they're getting through the middle part of the turn, they're already starting to get their eyes scanning down the track, looking at the whoops. And the best way to get through the whoops is carry a lot of momentum coming in. So they get on the throttle a little more aggressively.
Too early there? Just a little too early?
Or just not even too early sometimes, just maybe a little too aggressive. And I know it might sound like I'm beating a dead horse, but this track is so slick and it's so hard for these guys to not want to just grab a handful and go.
Feed it, gently feed it, but that seems at odds with what they do in Supercross. They race hard, these guys. The 117 is Dylan Long. He's in 7th place behind Daniel Herline at the moment. Justin Brayton is up in 5th. There he is. He's the reigning champion with the #1 plate. Top of the points at the moment, leading by Dean Ferris. Let's hope he's okay.
This is not good for his championship situation. He was sitting second in the points. He was just ahead of Brayton, but yeah, that's that fishtail back, back and forth, back and forth. Once that bike starts basically getting unsettled and unstable.
Once the back kicks here, then it's out of sync, isn't it?
Oh. Doesn't stay on top of the whoops like on an even plane. A lot of rocking there. And these bikes don't have any traction control. We're talking about getting on throttle too hard too soon. Your throttle control, traction control is with your right hand. It's how you control that throttle. These bikes have a ton of horsepower, and on a tight track like this, probably more horsepower than you can actually really use. Wilson now in 2nd place, so once again, it's a Husqvarna 1-2. Chad Reed probably smiling on the sidelines, going, I'm going to have me one of these for next year.
Now, last night, the results were the other way around. So it was Anderson 2nd, Wilson home 1st. Who will win the Oz X Open Trophy for the best performer across the weekend? Anderson leads by 3.4 seconds at the moment. Does Wilson have anything up his sleeve, or is Anderson going to check out here? We go back to Nathan Crawford. Really good job aboard the Kawasaki in 3rd.
I got to say, as far as the weekend has gone, when it was down to all the marbles and the main event, Nathan Crawford just seems to come out of nowhere. He's a real racer. Last night leading several laps of the main event, but he's got to stop looking over the shoulder the whole time. If you start worrying about what's happening behind you, you'll lose your rhythm. He's got to keep his focus forward. Brayton, if he gets close, yes, he'll make a block pass if he has to.
This is a championship changer. Brayton sits in 4th place at the moment. Good haul of points coming up. We're not done yet. He may even be able to get this thing, the Honda, onto the podium. He leads by 10 points, but his nearest challenger, as he battles with Nathan Crawford here, Dean Ferris, is down in 12th place. He's last in this race.
Yeah, you saw Brayton there. Just a little bit quicker through the whoops, going down the left-hand side of the whoops, gives him a good opportunity into that turn. Leaves the options of either going to the berm and squaring it up, maybe trying to cut underneath Crawford, or going from the outside up the inside, making a bit of a block pass. Let's see what happens this time around. This is where Brayton's making up all his time. Crawford not quite as aggressive coming to the works. Brayton's got the drive this time. Last time, he almost pulled it off. He knew he had to be just a little bit closer. That time he got it done.
That was sweet through the whoops from Justin Brayton. He moves into 3rd place with that one. Been crunching some numbers here in terms of who will win the AUS Open crown. Let's have a look here at just the completion of it. Over the whoops, gets it done, shuts the door, and nicely into the double right.
Brayton's so smooth,
isn't he?
Makes that look easy.
Now, obviously, if things stayed the way that they were, Anderson would have a win tonight. Wilson had one last night, a win apiece. This is going to be close, Lee, isn't it?
Yeah, it sure is. Now I'm standing down here, the base of the lander for the finish line, and we can see it's a very steep lander, but this next corner is really where it's at. If we can get the camera over into this corner here, you've got a couple of choices, either stay up in the main line or go where Robbie Marshall went just then. And they're the two different lines. We see Jason Anderson come through there, and here comes Dean Wilson, and he takes the opposite line. This is a gnarly corner.
You miss being out there, Hoax.
I sure do.
Nice insights from the inside of the arena. Wilson is 5.2 seconds behind Jason Anderson now. Then it's a good gap back to Justin Brayton. We recap. Here is the race leader. Now they'll be tied for the AUS Open trophy because they'll have a win each if things stay this way. Got to go back and figure out what the knockout blow is. We believe it will go to the Sunday winner. So Jason Anderson staring down the barrel of winning that prestigious Monster Energy AUS Open crown. Oh, dramas for Schmidt. He's in 9th place at the moment, and the bike stalled there or some sort of issue. We go back. Robbie Marshall will become a lap rider here. So already Anderson has lapped up to 8th place.
Oh, he's just setting a blistering pace. And like you said, him and Wilson would go with a 1st and a 2nd, but usually the rider that get the overall is based on the 2nd night's finish. So that is awesome for Anderson. With Dean Wilson, it's going to be a little bit gut-wrenching to think, oh, so close.
And hey, you know what? That Saturday night win, that's worth a huge amount to him here. Absolutely. As Chad said before, he's loved his time back down under. First time competing here. Aussie crowd, they like this guy. And the gap's out to 6.1 seconds. So a little bit of traffic hasn't been able to. The gap's extended between Anderson and Wilson. Let's just see what happens over the remaining 4 laps of this one. Great weekend for Husky, though. 1 and 2 again right now.
Yeah, they couldn't do much more than that, really. They only brought the 2 riders down, so 1-2 is as good as it gets. But for Justin Brayton, even though he's in a bit of a lonely 3rd position, because of Anderson and Wilson not being in this championship, it's about as good as a win.
Absolutely.
I'm sure Brayton would prefer to be winning and have these guys between them to add more points in the battle. See Mosey there, Ferris. Schmidt coming through, all these lap riders. Then you got Brayton. And if we look at the lap times, actually the fastest man on track last lap around, Anderson a 31.7, Wilson also a 31.7, but if we take the fastest lap of the race, Jason Anderson 31.2. He's really shown us that raw speed that he has got all weekend long, and he's putting it to use right now.
Good points haul here coming up for Dan Reardon, who finished second, or finished on the podium, I should say, last night. Right now he's in 4th place behind Justin Brayton. But I'm just wondering, on combined terms, the points haul from round 4 last night, then what he picks up from today, that may help. It may help Reardon into 2nd in the title race, given the difficult night that Dean Ferris has endured here. Ferris down in 11th at the moment.
Yep, they finished the way they are. Did well. It'll bump Daniel Reardon up. 2 laps to go. Man, these guys are just clocking these laps off so quick.
Super. This is really good for our race leader, and it becomes a part of a bit of an international mission for him. He's headed from here to Geneva to the Supercross there, going to race his training partner and his good friend, Marvin Musquin, who you know.
Yeah, Marvin Musquin. Would be nice to have him come down here one of these days. He's doing some of the European races. Of course, being a French rider, he's going to Paris, France for the Bercy race. Another pretty big international event, but I really think the way it's been going, the AUS Open is the biggest single international event on the calendar.
Chad Reed draws great parallels between Bercy and this event. Obviously, they're in different hemispheres, but he likens the sort of the feeling and the vibe to what they have been able to do here. He's celebrating already. Anderson's lead is out to 8.1 seconds. This isn't just a win, it's a crushing win. Jason Anderson, second place on night one, takes a convincing win at the Monster Energy AUS Open by cleaning up on Sunday. He'll be the champion of the event. Great job by Dick Wilson, originally from Scotland. At about age 9, he went to Canada and raced, and then ultimately into California when they recognised the kind of talent that he had. Justin Brayton, series leader, some very good points toward the defence of the Australian Supercross Championship in the sx1 class. What a great night of racing we've enjoyed here. Dan Reardon gets home in 4th place. On balance for the Monster Kawasaki rider. That's been a pretty good weekend for him. Let's not forget, it was 2012 that he was retiring out of the game, and he's back in the game.
Will you please bang them together right now for Jason
So confirmation
Anderson.
is through. Anderson is the overall winner of the 2017 Monster Energy AUS Open.
You want to know how to ride whoops?
Awesome stuff.
These are great slow-mos. Look at how much he soaks it up through those ankles. All these joints getting a good pounding through there. You see the bike flexing. He's got his hand up in the air.
That's been key. That's been one of the key areas for him of this track, hasn't it?
That corner speed coming into them has just been phenomenal all night. Even through the rhythm section of the one-hander, really showing the crowd how much he's enjoyed being here and appreciates the cheering.
We'll confirm for you, but we believe Justin Brayton's series lead will be 108 now. At 90 back to second place, we think, to Dan Reardon, but we'll verify that for you. So Anderson and Wilson on top, the internationals starring here at the Monster Energy AUS Open, and Justin Brayton, series leader, 3rd as we go to lead.
Well, Jason Anderson, last night you showed you could come from dead last all the way through to second. Tonight you showed how you could get a good start and check out and win this thing. 20 laps in the bag. That was awesome.
Felt great out there. You know, luckily tonight I was able to stay out that first turn carnage, but had a pretty awesome time here in Australia, and I'm hoping they're going to bring me back because it's one of the most unique races I'm able to do all year. So I had a good time. Thanks to the fans. You guys are kick-ass. Hopefully I can come back. It was fun.
Amazing job. Have you got anyone in particular you want to say some thank yous to, Jason?
Yeah, obviously my main sponsors, you know, Rockstar Energy, Husqvarna, Alpine Stars. It's my first race with them. I think the gear looks pretty good. Atlas Brace, Aero helmets, Dragon, DVS shoes, Scosh, there's a Hilton. There's a whole lot of them, and thank you all for giving me the opportunity to come here and support me.
Well, a solid second placing last night, backed it up with a win tonight, taking the overall over the weekend for the Monster Energy AUS Open. Ladies and gentlemen, will you please give a massive round of applause for Jason Anderson?
Kind of quietly spoken, really neat personality, but man, was he tenacious on that motorcycle this weekend here in Sydney. There was a fall last night. He recovered to get up and claim second place. Bit of action as we look at some highlights here at the start of the race. Early on, Ferris, we thought was going to have a great outing. Maybe another podium in the Australian Supercross Championship aboard the 111, but it wasn't to be. This was the first of a few dramas he would encounter. He fought gallantly, but in the end, he would finish down in 11th place. It was a tough outing for the man who came into this race second in the championship. An issue for Mosey. We go back. Brayton, that was decisive against Crawford. The way he rode those whoops, that was important in helping get him